Hello and welcome to Zebra Pen. I'm Christine of Twinkle Plans Her Day on Instagram. And the products I'm going to show you today aren't just pens and markers, but they're tools to help you plan, create, and organize your life. Let's get started. So the products we're going to look at today are the Sarasa Marcon, Modliner highlighters and brush pens, Sarasa clip pens, and ClickArt retractable marker pens. So the first pens I'm going to show you today are Modliners. They're highlighters that are double-sided. The first side is a chiseled tip, and the other side is a fine tip. Swatching out your pens is a great way to get an idea of how they feel on your hand and how it glides across the paper that you're using. Also, it gives you a better idea of what the colors are, and there are 35 different colors available. So many options. Modliner brush pens come in 25 colors, but instead of a chiseled tip, it comes with a brush tip, kind of like having a paintbrush at the end of your pen. And the other side is that same fine tip. These pens cover a larger surface area, and they're great for brush lettering, as you'll see later on in this video. And here's how all these colors look together. Next up are the ClickArt retractable marker pens. You just click on the top and the bullet point felt tip comes out. It's a 0.6 millimeter bullet point. ClickArt comes in 36 colors. It's great for doodling on journaling pages, and the ink never dries out. Sarasa clip pens come in 20 standard, 8 milky, and 10 Deco Shine colors. The fine point allows for clean, crisp writing in your planner or notebook and doesn't bleed through your pages. The writing is smooth and the colors are crisp. And the unique push clip allows you to attach it to your planner or notebook and take it on the go. Here are the 20 standard colors. Sarasa is also available in Marcon. Sarasa's Marcon's unique ink formulation will not bleed when highlighted, making it the perfect companion of Modliner highlighter. I'm going to demonstrate it now by highlighting it over with no wait time using the Modliners. As you can see, there's no bleed. Okay, so let's plan with some Modliners. So here I'm using a classic vertical planner. So the upper part of the planner is the morning, the middle is the afternoon, and the bottom is the evening. So I have a staff meeting in the morning, so let's put a box around that first square to emphasize that I have a meeting. I can write the details of the meeting inside that box. And then after the meeting, if I have some things to do, I can just put some Modliner lines and write over them the things I have to do. I can use the chisel tip to make a checklist for groceries or a to-do list so I can check things off as I go. A finished planner page might look something like this. Or I can add stickers to really personalize it and make it my own. I can change the color scheme to my personal aesthetic. If you have an hourly schedule, you can color block using Modliners. And if you're a college student, this is a really practical way to keep track of all your classes. Now let's see just how simple it is to make a banner for a bullet journal page. I'm going to be using the fine tip part of my Modliner and draw a simple rectangle on the top of this page. You can use a ruler, but I'm using the lines of this journal as a guide. Then I'm going to draw 2 sets of parallel lines on either side of the rectangle. And then I'm going to connect the bottom lines to the rectangle with a perpendicular line. Add those little triangles on the sides. I'm going to connect the 2 corners and then add some shading so it really looks like the banner is folding in on itself. Then I'm going to use the chisel tip to write my header. In this case, it will be April. Then I'm going to take the black Sarasa clip pen and I'm going to write the word April again on top of the word April, but this time in cursive, and really stretch it out. It's really going to add a little flair to this banner. And there you go, a simple banner for a bullet page. And I'm going to add a little bit more shading. And this is what that banner might look like in a finished bullet journaling page. You can separate your to-do list with different categories and even label your Modliners with those categories. so you can color code your list. Or you can even put them, the members of your family can each have a color and you can color code that way as well. Now let's use those brush pens for some lettering. The general rule of thumb is for more pressure on the downward strokes and less pressure on the upward strokes. This takes a little bit of practice, but if you're not a professional like me, you can take a click art pen in a corresponding color, here I'm using the green, and outline all your letters. This will mask any imperfections in your lettering and really make your word pop off the page. If I wanted to add a more three-dimensional feel, I could take the gray Modliner brush pen and to the right of every stroke, add a shadow. Should go very slowly here because it takes some details. These words are kind of small. To get into the little nooks and crannies, you may use that tip. And to the right of every stroke, just add a little bit of gray, and that will be that shadow, and it really makes it look like it's three-dimensional, but that's not all. After that, I'm going to take the black click art pen and make a border and go around the right of every shadow. So it gives a shadow to the shadow. And as you can see, it's really, really looking completely different from when it started. I'm going to add some to-dos in the boxes. And next comes the fun part. With click arts, you can just add some doodling to your pages that correspond to whatever you're doing that day. It adds a little whimsy and makes it fun. And before you know it, you've got a simple weekly bullet journaling spread. In addition to planning your week, you can track your sleep, track your habits, your workouts, skincare routines, medication, whatever you like. Here, I'm categorizing my spending and tracking my finances. If you're a visual person, keeping track of your finances, your investments, and your income, especially if it changes month to month, can give you a better idea of what you have. Here's an example of a savings tracker made with an octagon stencil. I would encourage you to really experiment with different color combinations, especially with creative journaling. And once you get the hang of it, more creative ideas will come. I hope these ideas will inspire you too to journal, plan, and create. What will you do with Zebra Pen?